Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakareshu Sarvada. Om Ganganapate Namaha. Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Deva Maheshwara. Guru Deva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Shri Sadguru Bhyo Namaha. Om Shri Hanumate Namaha. Welcome to Nitya Satsang. Today is the 5th of February 2025. I want to offer my prostrations to all the great sages and to Paramatma, Bhagwan residing in the heart of every being. We are continuing now today to continue our exposition further on the Mandukya Upanishad, verse number 1, which we started probably some time back. Then we diverted into some other areas. It's all the same truth ultimately. It's just different ways of trying to express the same reality, same truth. So along those lines, please remember that the verse is as follows. Harihi Om Om iti etat aksharam idam sarvam tasya upavakhyanam bhutam bhavat bhavishyat iti sarvam omkarah eva etat cha anyat trikalatītam tat api omkarah eva. This is the actual verse. Verse number 1. I believe there are only 12 verses in this Mandukya Upanishad. I want to cover them all. From the last time we spoke about this, we were talking about the word aksharam. This is a very powerful word that comes throughout the scriptures again and again and again. It means the imperishable reality, that which is eternally existing, that which is Brahman, that which is God. Again, this word God is, we can use that word, but that's, we're mixing two different traditions, and that may not be the best thing to do. In Advaita Vedanta, the best translation for the word God is Saguna Brahman. The Nirguna state, Nirguna Brahman, you cannot really call that God as such, because God means there's a monotheistic, kingly person, kingly being that is in control. That kind of idea is there in other acharyas, even in Sanatana Dharma, but it is not there as such in the concept of Nirakara Brahman. Nirakara Brahman is one infinite, undifferentiated consciousness. What is, we say consciousness meaning Sat, Chit, Ananda. Sat meaning that which is real, that which is true. Chit meaning that which is consciousness, the life, the feeling that we have that we're alive. That is the Chaitanyam. Very difficult to describe, but cannot describe it in terms of physical terms. And it is Ananda, meaning that there is only Ananda. Ananda meaning joy, unending, ever expanding, ever increasing, pure joy, complete joy, right? This is the idea. This is called Satchidanand. When you combine the three words together, Satchidanand, Sat plus Chit plus Ananda. Is that God? See, this terminology becomes a problem. So Saguna Brahman is a evolute under Maya. So there's Satchidananda Brahman. Its power is Mahamaya. And underneath Mahamaya, there is Saguna Brahman. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, etc. This is Advaita Vedanta. People don't know this probably. A lot of people misunderstand all these things. So the way that Advaitins understand the deities in Sanatana Dharma, Krishna, Ram, Kalika, Durga Mata, etc. It is only Brahman, but it is Saguna. Saguna meaning it is under Maya. Why is it under Maya? Because it has form. They say anything that has form, even if it is divine, it is under Maya. And anything that doesn't have form, that which is formless, is beyond Maya. This is the basic difference. So in Advaita Vedanta, the one is the only actual reality that is Aksharam. That's what this Upanishad is saying. So watch the terminology carefully. There's the word shar, K-S-H-A-R, kshar, ksha. That is the Sanskrit, syllable. That means that which is changing, perishable, that which is constantly transforming, temporary. That is called kshar. And that which is akshar means that which is not changing, eternal, that which always is. So the ontological theory is that there is only one infinite consciousness, unending. And that consciousness has infinite Shakti. That Shakti is also the same consciousness. So that Shakti is Mahamaya. This is only Advait Vedanta I'm describing here. And in that Shakti, from that Shakti, that same Brahman, through its own Shakti, you could say manifest, but it's really, that's not the right word. I mean, in terms of Gaudapadacharya, it is itself dreaming the Saguna Brahman, the Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, etc., all the different deities, all the different Ishwar Koti, isko Ishwar Koti kehte hain. And those Ishwar Kotis are in charge of the billions of universes that are created. And then each Jivatma is also the same Brahman, again reflected in that individualized apparent being. An analogy that comes to my mind, which I may have shared with you before, if just consider yourself as one singular being that is sitting in the center or standing in the center of a massive sphere made out of tiny mirrors. Each mirror is separate. Thousands, billions of mirrors. Some are big, some are small, some are this, some are that. And they're like countless mirrors. It's in this massive sphere. And they're all different shapes. They're all kind of stuck together somehow. So if you are the only one there, and you are the one, and then you see these billions of people around you, are there actually billions of people around you? There's only you. There's nobody else. Tum hi ho. Aur kuch hai hi nahi. But when you forget that, or somehow, this is what Advaita says, that those reflections start to feel that I am different from this, different from that, different from this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. I look different from this other person, this other person, this other person. Advaita Vedanta says there is no two. There is only one being, one reality, one tattva. And it is reflecting in its own power. So you can take that analogy further. Let's say that you are not a physical being like this. You are also made up of the same substance that the mirror is made out of, glass. The mirror is also glass. The only thing is that there's energy, there's light that is also coming from that mirror somehow, from that glass being. So it's only one tattva manifesting in many, many, many different ways. It hasn't become those. This is Advaita Vedanta. The sun, another analogy, the sun that is reflected in a million pots of water hasn't become those million suns. It is a reflection inside the water. This is what the Upanishad is saying here. That the Omkar, from where we are, from our relative level, when we speak Omkar and chant the Omkar, that is the Aksharam. Om iti etat aksharamidam sarvam tasya. When we are speaking Omkar, meditating on Omkar, resonating in Om sadhana, that dimension of who you actually are is opening up, and that is called Aksharam. So there are two levels that are described. the relative level that we are experiencing here and the absolute. There's a relative and the absolute. Always these two levels are there. So it is a matter of awakening. And see, the Upanishad mantras are such that they are so jam-packed with realization because they are spoken with realization. They're spoken from the realized state, from the awakened state, the enlightened state, the Brahmic state. They're not spoken from the bound state. So when a rishi is speaking from the enlightened state, like the Mandukya, which is referring to the frog, the frog is leaping. Why it is called Mandukya? Frog doesn't walk. Frog leaps from one to the next, one area to the next area. It doesn't walk. So the rishis observed, let's try to explain this idea to the disciples, to the mumukshus this way, like a frog is jumping from one to the other. It is a dimensional jump. It is not a progressive. Remember, Sachin has also said this before to all of you, that taking so many steps and you eventually get a result that is God realization or Brahman. That's not what it is. It is a dimensional jump. It is a one-step realization. Realization is always one step, not two steps. That is the Mandukya. The frog is leaping from one to the next, from the one state to the other state. What is the one state? It says it here. Aksharam idam sarvam tasya upavakhyanam. The explanation is in what sense? Bhutam, the past. Bhavat, the present. Bhavishyat, the future. Iti sarvam. That is only the same aksharam manifesting this way. In the past, present, future, the multiplicity. It's all those mirrors, all those reflections in those mirrors, all those reflections of the sun in the pot. It's only the one sun that is present. No, there's no two suns. This is what Upanishad is teaching us. Trikalatit, beyond time. Time is present in the relative world. But when the jump is made from the three states into the aksharam, the jump from shar to akshar, that is mandukya, that is a frog leaping. We are that. Our mind is like that. Our mind is that frog. It has to leap from one state to the next. It is 100% realization. But this is so, my God, this is not, to understand this, even to understand it. That's why the Gita is there, 700 verses, to explain just this concept. 700 verses, not to mention the Mandukya Karika and God knows how many commentaries have been written just to explain this much. And even that is not enough. There's no end to how much it can be explained, because it is, the acharyas, the rishis and all, they have tried to explain to people in the relative world this truth. But the truth is right here in this first verse only of the Mandukya Upanishad. Not thousands of pages. Only 12 verses are there. In the first verse, the half of the verse has everything inside. Kitna power, amazing power, amazing truth is shining. It is satyam, it is the satyam that is shining inside the mind of the rishi, and the rishi is expressing. That truth is being expressed by the divine will to the souls, bound souls in the relative world. How fantastic, how amazing is this? That's the power. Upanishad ka tremendous power. Isliye iski nobody does any kind of a katha on this. I mean, there are some scholars and all that, and there are some commentators in the Advaitic Sampradayas. They do studies, but it's a limited number of people. Most people are interested in Ramayana and Bhagavatam and things like that. Their Charitra Granths. Fine, that's fine. It's the same truth is there also. But see this leap. Can we make this leap? Is it possible to make such a leap? How do you make this leap? Well, there is a very long way and there's a very direct way. The long way is to keep doing different sadhanas of all different kinds. And we have to do them, obviously. No doubt about that. We have performing activity. But we are identified with the three gunas, three avasthas, three bodies. And say, no, that is not me. Just say that is not me. That is there, but that is not me. It's just an experience that is happening, coming and going, coming and going. Who am I? Aham brahmasmi aksharam aham. Main divya hu, main brahma hu, main anand hu. That's who I am. I just Mahavakya ko internalize kar dena. 6 Mahavakyas. Take any one of them. Hold on to the Mahavakya and just don't move away from that. Don't move away. Soham, I am that. Aham brahmasmi, I am that. Stay with that without moving for 1 second even while performing activity in the relative world. And if we stay with the Mahavakya and unfold it, maybe using the Gita, Brahma Sutras, whatever we need to unfold, it's not the quantity, it's how much is unfolded. Take one Mahavakya and don't move from that for 1 second at all. Understand it clearly and say, that is me, that is me, that is me. And then in that resonance with the Mahavakya, you may do bhakti. Bhakti is done, all those things are done. That is done as an activity, as a dualistic worship to keep the mind pure. Sachin is now showing only Advait Vedanta, leaving everything else aside. This is how Advaita is actually, if you want to realize the truth, you are the truth. It's not even realizing something that you are not. You are that. Thou art that. Tat Tvam Asi. Hold on. And if we hold on to it, that I am Brahman, I am the infinite, I am Akshara, I am not this perishable body, I am not the limited mind, I am not the confusions in my mind, I am not the memories or thoughts or feelings or emotions or kuch main hu nahi, main Chaitanya Tattva hu, Brahma Tattva hu, Ananda Tattva hu. Now, with that nishta, it is called Brahma nishta. It's a belief, no doubt. With that Brahma nishta, to keep moving through the fabric of time, 1 minute at a time, 1 hour at a time. Even though my body is moving through it, mind is moving through it, not me. Body may come, body may go. Body may be well, body may be sick, body may be this, body may be that. Anything may be there. That's not me at all. Neti, not this, not this, not this. But that stage of realization comes about either in a very long-winded way, bahunam janmanamante, jnanavanam prapadyate, as chapter 18 of the Gita says, or it can be held on intensely. That is called Brahmanishta. And then if it's held on without any breakage, and in that holding on, add one more thing, and that is simply Bhagavad Upasana. Bhagwan ki akhand Upasana. And if we don't let that go, then the freedom is right, it's in the present. The freedom, the realization. What the Upanishad is showing actually, that will come into realization that I am this, but I am not this. Sachin is not anybody's son. There's no Sachin to begin with. There's no son, there's no daughter, there's no mother, there's no father, there's no brother. Kuch bhi nahi hai. Sab raak, in Gunatitanand Swami mentioned, raak na padika. It is just packets of ash, all the way up to Prakriti and Purush. Kya baat hai? Can you imagine living like this? Even though you don't tell anybody this thing. Just be in your own it is called Swatantra state. It is Paratantra with Paramatma, but it is Swatantra. And this is not a type of understanding that a person tells others that you have this understanding. You cannot live in this world expressing this to anybody. They will say you're gone crazy because they cannot realize this thing. They're not at that stage of realizing that. You don't give this understanding to anybody who's not ready for that. Bhagavad Gita also says this. Shikshapatri also says this. Sabke liye hai, but they have to be ready for this. It's not something that you can just give. It doesn't work like that. The person will go crazy. They say, what are you talking? And you might even, you cannot live in the relative world like that. You live in the relative world with this understanding, and it is just a play. Even whatever may be happening, Prakriti ka khel hai. It is totally anitya. Everything under Prakriti is a fabrication. It is not the reality. It is a fabrication. It is, in Gujarati, Maharaja said, nakal jevu sukh che. It is a sukham that is a fabricated, it is a, it's like that, what is that, I forgot the name. If you have real gold and you have gold plated, gold plated is like I forgot, what is that called? There's a word for that. I just forgot it now. But it's not the real gold. It's a fake. Basically, it's a fake. It's not the real thing. So it's like that. This sansar and its happiness or the sukh dukh, it is all a fake type of happiness. None of it is the actual original happiness, original ananda. None, not at all within the three gunas of Maya. And this is the Upanishad. The Upanishad is Brahma Vidya. So that is the amazing thing, actually. So anyway, it is possible to hold on to the Mahavakya, Tattvamasi. See, there are 6 Mahavakyas. Soham, Ayam Atma Brahma, Tattvamasi, Pragnananam Brahma, Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma, and Aham Brahmasmi. 6 Mahavakyas are there. Hold on to any one of them and continue sadhana. And don't move away from that. If somebody insults us, they're not insulting me at all. If somebody praises us, they're not praising me at all. If somebody spits on us, they're not spitting on me at all. And if somebody puts flowers on us, they are not putting flowers on me at all. If children are there, they're not mine. If this billions of dollars are there, nothing is mine. This body is not mine. I am Brahman. Infinite consciousness, none of these limitations. And then on the other side, other way to look at it, everything is mine. Everything is only me. मैं ही हूं. और कुछ है ही नहीं. और कुछ नहीं है. One of the great saints in Punjab was Anandamayi Ma. There's a book actually she has written about me. We have to be careful. It's not the limited ego. She gave herself Diksha. She was a devotee of Krishna. She took the Murti of Krishna and gave herself Diksha. I'm Brahman. Think about this. Aise bhi sant ho gaye. A lot of fun stuff is there. Okay, let's continue tomorrow on this. Om Dhyanamulam Gurur Murti Mantramulam Gurur Vakyam Pujamulam Gurur Padam Mokshamulam Gurur Krupa Tameva Mata Chapita Tameva Bandhusha Sakha Tameva Vidya Dravinam Tameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Om Durga Rakshini Tata Swaha Om Shri Durga Arpanamastu Om Shri Radha Krishna Arpanamastu Om Hrim Swaha.